Hello engineers, welcome to the new video of the course, and in this particular video we are going to compare this normal common source stage with this particular circuit, that is CS amplifier or a common source amplifier with the current source load. And we already saw that, I mean theoretically I already told you that the gain provided by this particular circuit, that is CS amplifier with the current source load, is quite high as compared to the gain provided by this particular circuit, that is normal CS amplifier. In fact, I have given you a rough example wherein what I have explained you is that, let's say if this particular circuit is providing gain of 10, this might provide a gain of 100, right? Not necessarily that it will be almost 10 times of this gain, but just to give you a rough idea, right? So this is what we are going to check with the help of a simulation. So you see this particular circuit, I have just designed a normal CS amplifier. You see the value of RD is 5 kilo ohm, okay, and you see the gain provided over here, it is almost 2.5, right? 2.5, right? Because the input signal is 1 and the output signal is minus of 2.5, right? The signal is inverted, okay. So if I increase the RD, this is what I mentioned, right? If I increase the RD, then this particular gain also increases, right? You can see that the gain is directly proportional to RD, right? So let me just increase the RD, let's say from 5k, if I'm increasing to 10, and let's run it. So yeah, it is 5, it is almost 5 times, so gain is roughly 5, right? Let me just show it to you. So yeah, see, you see gain is almost 4.5, right? 4.5, something like that. If I increase the RD value, let's say from 10k, if I am jumping to 25k, and let me just run it. So you see the gain also increased by 5, right? Approximately 5 or 2, sorry, again become 10, right? Earlier it was 5 and it increased to 10, almost 2 times of what it was previously. So from 25k, let's say if I am increasing it to, let's say 50k, so gain should increase, and let me just run it. So yeah, you see from 10 it jumped to 20, right? So it is almost increasing by 2, right? From, let's say if I increase the value of RD from 50k to maybe 75k, so again we expect that the gain should increase. Let's see. So yeah, you see the gain is right now around 26, right? So let's say if I again change the value from 75k to 100k, let's see what value we will get for the gain. So let me just run it, and yeah, you see now the gain suddenly it decreases, right? So let's say if I keep it at around 75 to 80k, let's say 80k I'm taking, so my gain is around 27. So this is the maximum gain that we are getting from a common source amplifier, right? So, and in case of this, that is CS amplifier with the current source load, you see we were getting gain of around minus 133, right? If you could remember, and over here we are getting gain of around minus 27 or something like that. So that's the advantage we get when we actually deal with this particular amplifier, that is CS amplifier with the current source load. So that's the advantage this particular amplifier gives give to us, right? So let me just write the point over here. This is the another conclusion that we have done, or rather this is kind of advantage of using a CS amplifier with the current source load over this normal CS amplifier, right? So CS amplifier, one sec, CS amplifier with current source load, right, with the current source load, and versus normal CS amplifier, right? CS amplifier, normal CS amplifier. So over here we were getting gain of how much? We were getting gain of minus 133, and over here we are getting gain of how much? It is, we are getting gain of around the maximum gain that we are getting is around 27.5, right? The value that we are getting for the V out, so it was approximately 27, right? Okay, so this was the important conclusion, that is the gain provided in this stage is very high, compared to CS amplifier or normal CS stage, right? CS stage, whereas the gain provided over here, it was very less compared to this CSM with the current source load, right? CSM with current source load. I'm just writing it in short form. So these are the points that we saw over here. Okay, and there is one more thing I would just like to highlight. So you see this particular gain, it is how much? So CS amplifier, we are getting gain of, let's say if I consider this value as 30, so 13 4s are 12. So this gain is almost 4.5 times of 4 to 4.5 times of that, right? It is almost 4 times of this particular gain. So this gain is almost 4 times of this particular gain. Okay. So now I hope that you understood each and everything. You understood each and every point that we have discussed till now. Okay. But still, if you have any doubts, if you are facing any difficulties anywhere, it's my request to you all guys that you please ask those particular doubts into the communication section. I'll be happy to help you out there. Okay. Also make sure to leave a feedback about this particular course. If you have really enjoyed this particular course, okay, make sure to put that into the feedback section. Also, if you feel that there needs to be some improvement, maybe in my teaching style, maybe in my presentation style, or maybe overall about the overall concept, feel free to put that into the feedback section. I'll be happy to see that, and yeah, it will actually motivate me to create this kind of stuff for you all guys. So thank you for listening me patiently. I'm ending this video over here. Thank you.